was a time when I started, it was very, very young. Take a look at it today, and the women's game, very much in demand.
Women's basketball obviously has grown tremendously. The grass grows where it's watered.
It's like a snowball effect. It's gonna keep rolling and keep growing.
We're at a place where it's busting through the seams. People want more and more and more and more.
You're not gonna see a season like this probably for a really long time.
The journey to be the very best, a long, arduous one. In a city named for royalty, welcome to a very regal event, as ESPN proudly showcases the 1996 Women's National Semifinals. 4 have stayed the course, their goal the same. From old New England, a familiar path, defending champions.
Connecticut has done it. They have won the national championship here in Philadelphia.
Okay, let's go. Basketball sneakers on, let's go.
Free. Sorry,
National championship #2 for a very emotional Geno Auriemma.
It's hard for me to put into words, you know, with my family and everybody. It's just really special, it really is.
And you know what's really scary? We talked about this UConn team being a machine. This may signal a changing of the guard in women's college basketball because I think UConn will be even better next year.
Connecticut, winners of an NCAA record 76 consecutive games. The Huskies play for a 7th national championship. It's great number 8 for UConn. For an unprecedented 9th time. UConn has done it again for the 10th time. UConn is the national champion once again.
Right now, the king of the hill, Connecticut Huskies.
You would like to think that you can sit back sometimes and just reminisce. And really, I often say this. If somebody asks you to go back and do it again, say, look, go back and start over and do it again. My first instinct would be, it's not possible. Start at the beginning and then go forward and win 11 national championships. You go, or go to 14 straight Final Fours. And you go, that's more than some conferences in their history, right? 14. When you do get a moment and you think about those things, it makes you feel like, wow, I can't believe we did that. And then as soon as you say that, the fear of, can you keep doing it? And you have to kind of like manage this notion that we're the best that's ever been, or this fear that we can't keep being as good as we've been. I look back at the players that I've coached, and I think I've been more fortunate than any other coach, maybe in any sport ever in history, to have that many impactful players. So my good fortune in this game, that could have been some other coach that could have had that. And a lot of other coaches have had incredible players and done incredible things. And the magnitude of how many we've had those is what amazes me when I walk out on that court and I look up at those names on that wall. Like, nobody deserves that. But the fact that our players can be here for 4 years, I think that's helped grow the game as much as anything else. Because fans start to identify with players. See them as freshmen, see them as sophomores, watch them grow up, fall in love with them, get to know them. And that brings a certain, connection to the game. There's almost been stages of growth, and so many people have had a hand in it. I don't think you can say one player was responsible for it, or one coach was responsible for it, or one program was responsible for it. The players that are playing today are benefiting a lot from what happened in 1990s, and the players that are going to play 15 years from now are going to benefit from the players that are playing today.
Today at the Scope in Norfolk, Virginia, the Lady Texters face off against Cheney State in the first annual NCAA Women's Championship game. Starting at guard for Louisiana Tech, number 20, a 5'4" sophomore from Hammond, Louisiana, Kim Mulkey.
Well, I've always said the television has changed the women's sport. You can get just about any game you want on television now, whereas back in my day when I played, there was one game ever televised, and that was the national championship game.
First ever NCAA Women National Champions, the Lady Texters from Louisiana Tech.
Now you can go and find any game you want, so that changed it a lot. When you think about what happened in our championship game this year, and I've been a part of 7 of those championships, this was like none other. And I've thought many times, why was it different?
Our championship run last year, everybody was like glued to that, and then people started following women's sports, and they seeing that we have so many different personalities on the court that people want to follow, and I think young girls are now seeing it like that. Wow, this is cool, like this could be me.
It was different because you had 4 teams who have tremendous coaches and fan bases, and they were all there at the same time in one arena. It was just healthy, it was wholesome, it was good. I'd never seen anything like it.
Women's basketball, obviously, the numbers don't lie, has grown tremendously. There's a lot of reasons for that. When the media starts paying attention to it, people start paying attention. When more people pay attention, more people watch, they talk about it. The other side of the coin is, it has to be a product that people want to watch and get excited about. And I think the level of play, athleticism, skill, all those things has improved.
The media coverage and all that is great for us because we keep executing, and I feel like you're just put it out there so other people can actually see what women do in women's basketball. We put people on notice more, like when they give us the opportunity, like say for instance, like putting our games on ESPN. I feel like they execute and give people reasons to watch the game. Our demeanor and when we hit the court is just toughness. I feel like everyone, when you watch sports, you like toughness, so I feel like we are doing a great job with keeping the intensity up. They just like gave us the opportunity to show them and put our moves on display, put our talent on display.
Good afternoon and welcome to historic Kinnick Stadium, the home of Duke Slater Field for the crossover at Kinnick, presented by State Farm.
I think the biggest thing for the women's game to continue to grow is just people appreciating how good the game is. I think the style of basketball a lot of teams are playing these days, up-tempo, it's exciting, but also people just love the joy and the emotion girls play with, and I think our team especially, you can see how much fun we're having with one another on the court. The crossover in itself was just truly a magical experience. I think it just speaks to our fans that we have here at Iowa, and they appreciate not only what we're doing on the court, but also off the court. All the profits from that game went to our children's hospital, which overlooks our stadium, which kids were able to watch a women's basketball game for the first time. It gives you a sense of gratitude, but also puts your life into perspective, and it makes you really realize, basketball is not the greatest thing ever in this world. There's people that are fighting way bigger battles than you are, but what you love to do and what you do every single day and the way you do it gives so much hope and inspiration to others, and that's what attracts our fans to come into Carver Hawkeye Arena every single night and give us 15,000 people screaming for us, is they can see the love we have not only for the game but the people we're playing it with, and our opponent too. We step on the court and we're competitors, but at the end of the day it's just basketball, and we know it's not the end all be all. We just go out there and have fun, and it's something we love to do, and I think that's honestly what helps us get such great results.
Being as female athletes, you know, maybe we don't get as much respect. However, these past few years, we've just kind of showed them our dominance.
A big change in the game is girls are more likely to just play. We're just trying to show what we can do and show the talent that we have to attract more people to watch our game.
We've really grown. We've gotten a lot more athletic, I guess, if you could say, the past couple years. We're just able to show our strengths and show our athletic abilities as well.
Just from someone that's been in it, you can definitely feel the change, and my hope is that it continues and it's not a flash in the pan, that we capitalize on this growth and continue to push it to new heights.
I think it will keep growing just because of how people with the platforms are doing a great job, I think, of just getting female athletes out there and getting people to support them and know their stories.
I think I can speak to what I know about the college game and my class specifically. My class is very, very special, and I don't know that we've seen a ton of other classes with the type of star power and ability to translate from high school to college, from college to the pros. And I think I can probably attribute it to when we were growing up, that's kind of when social media and sports and social media specifically started to blow up. All those big channels started to take notice of the younger girls, and they started to post us, and we started gaining media followings.
As times have changed, players, when they come to college, already have some name recognition around the country, which is crazy.
These young ladies now have an opportunity to do things away from the court that like never before. Not just making the money, but the exposure. They're meeting celebrities, they're doing things that former players really didn't have an opportunity to do.
NIL has a huge part for people to be faces of brands, faces of organizations. Just being able to build that image for yourself in college and for great people to reach out and want to work with us, and then us getting our names out there, us getting our brands out there, and then doing great things with it.
Having the opportunity where followings and social media takes into account and can attract you deals. It's what do you have now to offer, not what you're going to be when you go to the league. Women are very visible and we're very prominent in social media, and so with that being the main factor of NIL, that's perfect for us.
I honestly think that it helped me personally just to realize that I'm more than an athlete. Basketball is going to end one day, and I think that NIL is a great place where we can build a lot of relationships with a lot of these businesses and companies, where once the basketball does stop, we can continue to work with these brands because they already have a previous relationship with us.
It's definitely helped a lot of athletes. Me, myself, I come from a big family. I got 9 siblings, and my parents both work 9 to 5s, and they're trying their best to support. So having that benefit and that outlet to go to is super important, because I don't want my parents over here stressing about money. So it makes me feel good to give back to my family.
It's a lot of pros, more than it is cons in my opinion. I think that, like, you know, if you build your brand from a young age and you really be true to who you are, it can pay off in college. So even if you don't go to the pros, you have a way to kind of financially set yourself up in college. And to be able to profit from that is cool, because like you can do other things. Like I make music and I'm a rapper, so I'm able to profit off my music and play basketball still. So it's just an amazing thing. And I think a lot of college athletes should take advantage of it.
NIL has added a whole nother dynamic to the way the game's grown, and honestly, I think it's been really good for women's basketball. People get to see their favorite basketball players, or even their favorite other athletes, them doing a commercial or them doing an appearance. It's come at a perfect time for the game of women's basketball, and I think it's really helped women's athletics move another step forward.